Hi everyone, my name is Darcie Lich and I'm an Oblate lay associate in the Saskatchewan District community. Today, on the solemnity of the Annunciation of the Lord, in our Gospel reading we hear about Mary's yes, her fiat, her immediate acceptance and consent to God's plans for her. And we often reflect on how this yes is a source of deep inspiration for us. We reflect on how it's a response born of profound faith, trust, and a willingness to work with and for her God. A response that we are all invited to imitate in our lives each and every day. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I always have mixed feelings about today's gospel reading. Yes, Luke tells us that Mary was perplexed and she pondered things. But even that was when Gabriel appeared to her and greeted her. I mean, I'd be a little perplexed myself if an angel showed up and said hi. But when Gabriel said, "This is what God's got in mind for you," Mary asked a single question and then agreed. That yes sounds so easy, and that's precisely where I struggle with it. Let me give you an example of what I mean. I'm the coordinator of religious education for the third largest Catholic school division in Western Canada, and when this job opened up, I can't tell you how hard I tried to run in the opposite direction. At the time, I was teaching band and choir and Catholic studies at a high school that I helped open. It was my absolute dream job. I couldn't have planned it better, other than staying there until I died. I had no intention whatsoever of leaving. When this job opened, God sent me a messenger, and it was in the form of an administrator who reached out and said, "I think you really need to apply for this." And my answer was, absolutely not. And believe me, when I say there was no perplexity or pondering going on here, it was instant. Later that day, God sent another messenger to me in the form of a colleague. "I really think that this job is right in your wheelhouse. Are you applying?" "Nope." And another messenger, a classmate of mine from the Masters of Religious Education program. "No." One of my profs. "No." God persisted. A pastor, a friend of mine. He even co-opted that little voice in my head. So the day before applications were due, I was long past irritated, straight up mad. But deep down, I knew that God wouldn't give in. So I grudgingly threw together a curriculum vitae and sent it in saying, "Fine, I don't want this. And this is all the effort that I'm putting into this application. So if you think I'm supposed to do this, then the rest is on you." And here I am 6 years in. Now, has it been a blessing? Absolutely. I've been blessed in ways that I never could have imagined. Have I been able to dedicate myself to working in the charism of our founder? Opportunities galore. Was God's plan for me better than what my own plans were? I'd like to say jury's out, but odds are the answer is a big yes. But my yes wasn't big. It wasn't the kind of yes that Mary gave. I gave the most reluctant yes in history, and it wasn't even so much a yes as it was a grudging, "Fine, have it your way." And that's exactly where I get hung up in this gospel reading. A teenage girl risked her impending marriage, her reputation, and her own safety by agreeing to be the mother of God. The mother of God. I don't know about you, but as a 40-something adult, I've asked way more questions and have tried to refuse things a lot smaller and far less significant than what a teenage Mary agreed to. To be sure, some yeses are easy. Be the synod coordinator at my parish, for sure. Belong to an Oblate community and share in the charism of St. Eugene de Masnod. No problem. Write and deliver Lenten Reflections on a video for an audience that will receive the message with kindness and generosity. Check. Easy yeses. But some yeses, lots of them, aren't. In my own case, even after 6 years in, my own yes to this job is still not automatic. I come to work here every day knowing that there is every possibility that someone who loves and serves the same God I do will call me in a rage, question my commitment to my faith, demand my resignation. Every morning requires another yes. And there are days when that yes is still really hard. We all have yeses that are hard. Changing jobs, changing cities, changing living arrangements, accepting diagnoses. or care plans, or even the prospect of dying. Parenting, adulting, sacrificing our own needs and wants for the sake of our spouses, our kids, our community, our parishioners. Serving with Mazanodian audacity, knowing full well that we risk finding ourselves among the marginalized when we do. Leaving nothing undared for the gospel. And you know what? Sometimes God double dog dares us, and you can't turn down a double dog dare. But even when the yeses are hard, here's where my favorite part of the reading comes in. In my opinion, whenever we hear or read reflections on the Annunciation, Gabriel doesn't get nearly enough press, especially his first line. He says, "Hail, full of grace, the Lord is with you." There's the ticket. Before he even breathes a word of God's plan, Gabriel assures Mary of two things. One, she's full of grace, God's favor, God's help. And it's not only available, but it resides right within her, so much that she is full of grace. And two, he assures her that the Lord is with her, right with her. Not beside her, not in front of her, not in the sanctuary somewhere, with her. That right there is what makes hard yeses possible. When we're confronted with the notion of God's plan for us, and that plan collides with our own plans, our own visions, our own needs, our own wants, our own wills, we know that we too are full of grace and that God is with us. If Mary can do it, so can I. So can you. So can we. So, friends, when our own messengers show up and tell us that God's got plans for us, big plans, and ones that often far outweigh the circumstances of our day, may we ponder their presence in our hearts, listen for those messengers and their reassurance, and remember that nothing is impossible with God, even the hard yeses. Then we too may say, "Here am I, the servant of the Lord. Let it be done to me according to your will." Peace be with you.